There's really only two outcomes for cover songs. They're either nothing special or the best thing on the planet. Luckily, we've selected some sublime moments of bands exchanging a neat back and forth, so you don't have to sort through all of the hellishly boring renditions out there. From Green Day and Tim Armstrong converging on stage, to New Found Glory stripping back a Yellowcard deep cut, here are 10 times bands honored each other in our scene. But before we team up, make sure to subscribe to APTV and turn on all notifications so you never miss a video. And check out the link in the description to the Spotify playlist featuring all of the songs on this list. Now, here are 10 times musicians covered each other in our scene. Number 10. The Menzingers and Bouncing Souls. This 7-inch split via Bouncing Souls' own label offered listeners both an original and cover track from each group. Instead of boring us with some hit we've heard dozens of bands rework, they switched it up and picked from the others' discography. The Menzingers went with Kate is Great from the Souls' eponymous third full length, whereas Bouncing Souls selected On the Impossible Past's Burn After Writing. Number 9. Iggy Pop and the Black Keys. The Black Keys adopted the Stooges' No Fun on 2004's Moan EP, crafting a shorter blues-tinged version where vocalist-guitarist Dan Auerbach deviated from the original and got more melodic to properly translate how painfully mundane living in the Midwest can be. It may have taken some time, but Iggy Pop eventually returned the favor when he signed on to participate in Black on Blues, a tribute compilation where industry veterans paid homage to the Keys. Joining Cream drummer Ginger Baker to replicate the Akron, Ohio act's two-man style, the duo recreated a rather faithful rendition of the fuzz-filled El Camino-era classic Lonely Boy. Number 8. All Time Low and 5 Seconds of Summer. Back in 2012, 5 Seconds of Summer uploaded their delivery of Jay-Z Ray, citing All Time Low as a crucial influence in the past. All Time Low apparently digged their version, bringing guitarist Michael Clifford on stage for an almost cover of She's Kind of Hot in 2015, quickly switching to Green Day's American Idiot. With guitarist Jack Barracat joining Five Sauce on the road during summer of 2015, and frontman Alex Gaskarth co-writing several tracks with the band, including Kiss Me, End Up Here, and Long Way Home, among others. Hopefully a proper cover makes its way to the surface. Number 7. AntiFlag and Bouncing Souls. BYO's Split series rallied both AntiFlag and Bouncing Souls for their 4th installment, having each band put their own take on one track from the other in 2002. AntiFlag yielded a steadfast rendering of the underrated The Freaks, Nerds, and Romantics, as well as ending the comp with the Buzzcocks' Ever Fallen in Love. In exchange, Bouncing Souls offered a rambunctious execution of That's Youth, in addition to some originals and 2 other covers. Cocksparrers were coming back, and Sticks and Stones Less Than Free. Number 6. Say Anything and Saves the Day. Besides launching a co-headlining anniversary tour in 2014, Say Anything's Max Bemis and Saves the Day's Chris Conley celebrated their respective album anniversaries by selecting a track from the other. In honor of Through Being Cool turning 15, Bemis turned out an impressive interpretation of You Vandal, the utter clarity of his near spoken word singing style making the song sound like it came straight from his band's sophomore effort. With Is a Real Boy reaching 10, Conley stripped back album opener Belt by way of acoustic guitar strumming and benign vocals. Number 5. Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy. While it's not a full-blown cover, Panic at the Disco pulled the best prank on every emo kid in the audience when they performed at the March Madness Music Festival in 2016. After wrapping up victorious, the band launched into Sugar We're Going Down for about 30 seconds, not even finishing the iconic opening line, before Brendan Urie replied, "April Fools, motherfuckers!" In the same vein, Fall Out Boy have gotten up to some hijinks of their own, most notably when they dressed up as members of Panic during Halloween in 2007 at the Fillmore in Miami for I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. Number 4. Rancid and NOFX. The 3rd installment of BYO's Split series starring NOFX and Rancid differed from past efforts, this compilation being the first where the featured bands covered each other exclusively. The CD actually came in 2 versions, one with a green sleeve placing NOFX songs first, and another sporting orange artwork with Rancid first. Take note of the slick bass opening in Stickin' in My Eye, as well as the faster tempo in Olympia, Washington. In an epic twist, NOFX liked their cover of Radio so much, they've incorporated it into hundreds of live sets ever since. Number 3. New Found Glory and Yellowcard. While embarking on a co-headliner in 2015, New Found Glory and Yellowcard issued an exclusive 7-inch tour split where they put their own spin on a track from the other's latest effort. NFG slowed things down in Lift a Sail's reflective Illuminate, stripping the song of its pop-punk backbone and transposing it into an acoustic ballad. Yellowcard followed suit by shifting Resurrection's Ready and Willing from boisterous and buoyant to tender and touching, with a tinge of violin for added effect. Number 2. Green Day and Rancid. Having both sprung from Gilman Street, Green Day and Tim Armstrong have crossed each other's circles dozens of times. In the past, Rancid have thrown their throaty undertaking of the acoustic eternal and high school graduation slideshow staple, Good Riddance, Time of Your Life, into their set, with Matt Freeman taking lead. In the most ceremonious of occasions, Armstrong joined Green Day on stage 2 days prior to their Rock Hall induction in 2015 for Op Ivy's Knowledge and Rancid's Radio, the latter of which he co-wrote with Billy Joe Armstrong over 20 years ago when he invited him to join the band as the second guitarist. Number 1. Weezer and Toto. No, we're not going to hit you with the overplayed but glorious Africa, instead opting for the lesser-loved Rosanna. As the current uncontested kings of covers, see Teal album, Weezer first dropped this track as a troll against an online campaign, tweeting them with the eminent hashtag #WeezerCoverAfrica, releasing the desired song not even a full week later. In return, Toto fired back with a cover of the beloved Hash Pipe, unveiling the funkified Green Album classic at a show in Vancouver last July. Take note of the slick bass. Yeah, bass. Why was I like, oh, is that bass? You know, like the fish.